A place where religion meets humanity, Pashpatinath Temple. There is a world out here living for other people. Selflessness is a virtue of mankind. Here, emotions and sentiments mean the same. Prayers are answered and it's a fresh start. There exists a blend between cultures and ideologies despite following a norm that we as humans live by to comfort the soul within us. Combination of cultures collects so beautifully that the essence of humanity and perseverance that comes with acceptance.
Jai Shambhu. Jai Shambhu, whatever.
Yeah, a lot of time in my life I just smoke weed and Pashpatinath, go to the sky and some fly. Yeah,
Jai Shambhu.
This God.
A range of cultures meet and it still doesn't seem as if it were a clash. It's in that beauty of the environment that we find the serenity to establish the sense of mankind and the perseverance that comes with acceptance.
I won't go Himalaya, just live in tent, in jungle, just see nature.
The presence for an unburdened atmosphere attracts the need of undertaking the burden not of their own. To them, death seems insignificant.
I think I started, then I born in this world, then I come. This is start in my brain.
In the eastern part of Kathmandu lies one of Hindus' most significant temples devoted to Lord Shiva, which celebrates Shivratri every year at a time between the end of February until early March. The term Pashpatinath originates from its well-rooted meaning, the Lord of Animals. Beautifully carved wooden structures displaying Shiva's family members on cubic constructions highlight the historical and architectural significance of the temple. This place is richly ornamented with silver-plated doors on all sides with guardian deities painted in gold. The Bagmati River, which runs next to the temple, has highly sacred properties, which is why the banks of the river are lined with bathing spots for many pilgrims. It is along these banks that Arati, a ceremonious practice, is conducted where offerings are made to Lord Shiva, Goddess Bagmati and Parvati. The Arati starts in the evening, where one experiences soothing chants, local humming tunes, dance with the Sadhus, and also a spiritual connection with oneself. This ceremony takes you through customs and traditions of Hinduism widely followed in established structural patterns. The crowd is populated with a majority of Hindus who idolize Lord Shiva and follow his principles of living. They religiously gather at this temple on Shivratri to portray utmost devotion to culture and tradition. Sadhus of all ages from various parts of the world come here to attain divinity. They solely dedicate their lives to achieving moksha, liberation through meditation and yoga. They are the lives that let go of all materialistic practices to settle in caves, forests, and temples. One of the greatest temples to witness their presence is the Pashpatinath temple during Mahashivratri.
हमारा नाम महेशगिरी नागा बाबा और हम हिमाचल प्रदेश डिस्ट्रिक्ट चम्बा से आए। गुरु एक शब्द का नाम है। गु माने अंधकार, गुरु माने प्रकाश। जो इंसान अंधकार से प्रकाश में ला दे उसको गुरु माना जाता है, बोला जाता है।
A group of sadhus sit around a bonfire chanting mantras, playing the instruments constructed out of natural components. One can often recognize them for their unique dreadlocks, faces smeared in ash of the sacred fire, and their bodies covered in bright robes in shades of saffron, yellow, and white. Some also find peace in the absence of any clothing, but the vibrance never disappears. At the same time, they adorn themselves with multiple long-beaded threads of sacred importance.
ये जटाएं हमारा श्रृंगार होती है, ये हमारी पहचान होती है, ये हमारा ताज होता है, ये हमारा दंड भी होता है। तपस्या में दंड, श्रृंगार में ताज और सुंदरता में जटा। ये हमारा जो संस्कार हुआ था, नागा संस्कार 2001, उसके बाद हमारी जटा बनती रही और बहुत सुंदर जटा बनी। तप के कारण ये भजन के माध्यम से बनती है। जितना साधु भजन करता है उतनी सुंदर उसकी जटा होती है, उसकी उतनी सुंदरता उसके चेहरे में होती है।
हेलो, मेरा नाम है संतोष गिरी, मैं उत्तर प्रदेश हरिद्वार। बाबा लाइफ में मेरे हो गया 18 वर्ष। कैसे मेरे लाइफ को ना मैं देखा अपने भविष्य के लिए कि भविष्य में कोई अच्छा ऐसा कर्म करे कि हमारे भविष्य के लिए अच्छा होगा, कि जो हमारे आगम के लिए आगे का जो दिन आएगा वो हमारे लिए अच्छा दिन करेगा। इसलिए मैंने सोच के बाबा को। पापा जी हमारे थे पहले तो गांव में थे, प्रधान थे, फिर उसके बाद में विधायक हुए। विधायक होने के बाद में शरीर उनका बुढ़ा हो गया, वो घर पे रहते हैं, खेती बाड़ी के काम देखते हैं। एक भाई है, भाई अपने वो भी घर पे ही रहते हैं, खेती बाड़ी का काम देखते हैं। सिस्टर मेरी है, वो अपने घर पे रहती है, वो भी अपने बच्चों को पालती है। उसका जो है हस्बैंड है, वो रहते हैं पुलिस है, उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस, अपना काम करते हैं। अब मेरा लाइफ तो बाबा के लिए, मैं बाबा हूँ। तो जब 15 वर्ष उम्र में था तब से मैं बाबा बना। आज 17-18 वर्ष हो गया मेरे को बाबा लाइफ में।
हमारा नाम महंत ज्ञानपुरी नागा बाबा है। हम ऋषिकेश त्रिवेणी घाट गौरी शंकर महादेव। हम सन 86 से नागा बाबा है उज्जैन से। हमारे एक भाई दिल्ली में का पेट्रोल पंप है, ठीक। एक भाई हमारे लेखपाल हैं, एक भाई हमारे मास्टर हैं और एक भाई हम बैठे हैं जो मान। घर त्यागने के बाद में हम 14 साल अभ्यागत में घूमे मनमुखी बन के। उसके बाद में फिर हमने एक हमारे महाराज मिल गए जो श्री अब्दुल चैतनपुरी भोपत वाला, जो सेक्रेटरी साहब थे 10 नाम जूना आवान अखाड़े से। हम लोग उनके शिष्य बने और हमसे उनसे दीक्षा हमने इलाहाबाद में ली, जिससे हम राजराजेश्वरी नागा बने। हम ये बनने के बाद में आज हमको 30 साल हो गया। 30 साल में हम ऑल भारत का भ्रमण करते हैं। हम कहीं भी डर नहीं लगता है, चाहे मरघट में जाएं, चाहे मसान में जाएं, कहीं भी एकांत में रहें, चाहे अकेले रहें, चाहे 4 लोग रहें, चाहे बियाबान जंगल में बिठा दो, हमको कहीं डर नहीं लगता है। हमारे भूत प्रेत ये तो हमारी सब सेवा करते हैं ना, सारी शक्तियाँ हैं जो हमसे बात करती हैं। जिस समय भभूति पे झूले के ऊपर बैठे होते हैं तो हमसे शक्तियाँ बात करती हैं।
हम लोगों का फर्स्ट वस्त्र है कि भभूति लगाना, जो साधु सन्यासी का हम लोगों का धर्म है। उसके बाद में हम लोग घर के अंदर नहीं रह सकते, जो पक्का बना हुआ मकान उसके अंदर नहीं रह सकते। हम लोग रह सकते हैं किसी का वृक्ष के पेड़ के नीचे।
The corpses of the dead in shroud are cremated on these ghats after the family has washed them in sacred waters. The families bring their dead, who are normally wrapped up in a white cloth. They are placed on stands, straw and firewood are placed around them before setting light to them. After 2 or 3 hours, the remains are placed in the river which runs through the temple. The cremation process takes hours, and even after hours, skull and some bones can be unharmed. There are some people to finish the job of flames and clean the cremation areas for newcomers. In a lifestyle difficult as theirs, Sadhus are considered legally dead to everyone but themselves. They choose such a lifestyle but do not promote it. They are very understanding towards the necessity of an economy and suggest that one that lives such a lifestyle must not adapt to their ways. They, however, welcome all those who have chosen this path of worship. Ritually, they attend their own funeral before following one of the gurus for many years, aiding him by doing unskilled tasks until acquiring the necessary experience to leave his leadership. The use of ganja or marijuana, as it is popularly known in religion, dates back to the 2nd millennium BC and continues till today. Sadhus believe that ganja aids in worship of God and meditation. It is also a belief that ganja enhances their religious experience and cleanses the consumer of his sins, help them become one with Shiva and avoid hell. It forms an integral framework of their devotion to God. To outlaw the use of ganja is to outlaw the traditions of Hinduism and moral functioning of a sadhu. It is considered a source of joy and liberation. There is a significant difference in the way ganja is consumed among sadhus at an experience level. Most importantly, it isn't consumed for pleasure, instead to achieve focus and attain a higher state of meditation.
विष जो वो निकला था वो धुएं के रूप में आकार में निकला था और उसका कोई आकार नहीं, विराट रूप में निकला था। वो सारी धरती को नष्ट करने वाला था। जो धरती पे जम गया उसका भांग गांजा धतूरा की उत्पत्ति हो, बीज बना, और जो भगवान शिव ने भी दिया वो नीलकंठ महादेव के नाम से मशहूर हो गया। भांग गांजा धतूरा साधु संत महात्माओं को ध्यान की तरफ ले जाता है, इसलिए उसका वो सेवन करते हैं। बाकी आप लोगों के लिए ये विनाशक घातक बूटी है, ये विष है। आप इसका सेवन करोगे तो आपका मन काम की तरफ नहीं करेगा, आराम की तरफ करेगा। इसलिए आप धीरे धीरे मानसिक रूप में कमजोर होते चले जाएंगे। ये साधु संत महात्मा जिसको बनना होता है, जिसकी लाइन में होता है, उसको सेवन करना होता है।
The concept of Night of Shiva was born after goddess Parvati asked Lord Shiva to save the world facing destruction by dedicating a night to experience activation of living souls. Upon worshipping, Shiva would give his blessings. There is a Shivratri in every lunisolar month of the Hindu calendar on the month's 13th night, but once a year in late winter and before the arrival of spring marks Mahashivratri, which means the great night of Shiva. Different legends describe the significance of Mahashivratri. According to one legend in the Shaivism tradition, this is the night when Shiva performs the heavenly dance of creation, preservation, and destruction. The chanting of hymns, the reading of Shiva scriptures, and the chorus of devotees joins this cosmic dance and remembers Shiva's presence everywhere. According to another legend, this is the night when Shiva and Parvati got married. Unaware of most other religious festivals that take place in Nepal, one festival never forgotten or left unconsidered is Shivratri. When all devotion, human threshold is at its peak as they withstand the sudden thronging of the locals and sadhus, and especially those who come from across the world to pay a visit. The best time to visit the temple is at dawn or a little after. The rising sun cuts through the hazy mist that lies over the river, and the evening bonfires glowing in the cremation ground create an eerie yet ethereal ambience for the devotee. Certainly, this is a culture that embraces all of life, including the end of it, celebrating each stage at one of the many Hindu temples in the city. After all, Pashpatinath temple demands more than anything for someone to absorb and not to admire, to understand and not to be amazed of the inevitable truth that at one point or another, all of us are nothing but ashes.